I became unhoused because I was downsized. Instead of using the word termination back then in the 90s. So I lost my job. I was going through a divorce at the time and started to have some mental health issues at the time. And so the combination of those three triggers, I see a therapist, called it an imperfect storm, all hit at the same time. I found housing by going to a shelter. I was on the street for approximately 3 to 4 years. I became involved with a group called URG, URG, which stands for the Unhoused Response Group. I started doing it because I became a victim of being unhoused. One thing you have to understand about unhoused people is they won't travel out of their comfort zone. When you're there, that's where you live at, that's where your belongings are. You're not going to go out and try to seek COVID services or find out what's going on. So if you want to help unhoused individuals, you have to take the services to them. Target population out there that no one cares about, no one provides anything to them. In addition to providing the COVID, we provide services as well. We take out food, we take out clothes. There's certain areas in San Jose, for instance, on the south side and in the Willow Glen area of all areas, where the camps don't receive any services from the city. So we're sort of doubling up and trying to provide services as well. There is a fear, definitely, especially at the beginning. Maybe not so much now because we know more about the virus and we've done this for 1.5 years, but back in the beginning days in March 2020, we were definitely fearful. We have a microbiologist on our team who advises us of the different variants and what we should be watchful for while we're out there. But the bottom line was, if we didn't do it, no one else was going to do it. We had to fill that void. And given that our team has been unhoused or is still unhoused, we put ourselves in that position. Wouldn't you want somebody to come out there and help you? And the answer was yes. And we didn't see anybody else who was going to fill that void. I think it's a little bit overstated at times when people say they're mentally ill out there, they're crazy and deranged. They're just people like everyone else who are going through a very difficult time in their lives. And if you approach them in a way that you understand and you're not coming at them. For instance, when I go into a camp, I say, hey, my name's RJ, how you guys doing? And they look at you a little fearful at first because they want to know what you're doing in their camp as well. I say, I'm just here, I'm a volunteer. I'm not with the police, I'm not with the immigration service. I'm not here to try to sweep your camp, which means to take their camp down and they have to move. I'm one of you. I used to be homeless just recently, as 36 months ago. I was here on the street just like you, and that breaks the ice, and then we can talk. What needs to change is that people care about their unhoused residents and realize that they're people just like you, particularly with people facing evictions when the rent moratorium expires. It could be your uncle, your brother, your father, your next door neighbor. It's not someone who necessarily has to be low income. Maybe, people have a perception you have to be low income, non-educated, and therefore that's why you ended up out on the street. I met a lot of people who had advanced degrees when I was out on the street, who for various circumstances lost their place, lost their job, and found themselves out there. But people need to realize they're everyday people just like you, just like me. Homelessness defies any socioeconomic status. I went to law school. I practiced for 20 years. By all indications, you would never think that I would end up unhoused, but it happened to me for a number of reasons. And when I found myself out on the street, one of the things I noticed over the years in meeting people out there is that they had lost their voice. I used to do corporate employment law and housing law, and I decided that if I ever got off the streets, I was going to give back by using my talents and skills as a homeless advocate, and that's what I've been able to do. My name is Raymond Ramsey. Most people call me RJ. I have been an unhoused outreach worker during the pandemic, and I consider myself an essential worker.